Good morning, everybody. John Blundell here, and I'm talking about my my journey with vascular dementia. You'll have to forgive me because I haven't got Jan with me this morning because she's having a line. You may see that the sun is shining a bit because we are in sunny Spain, and this is as you can see a little bit the mountains there. This is my sister-in-law's, Jan's sister and brother-in-law's place, and I'm broadcasting from a place called Albertera. And for those who think, well, where's that? It's half hour from Alicante airport, and we've come up here for I think it's 9 or 10 days. What day is it today? Friday? Saturday? Oh, we go back Tuesday, I think. So yeah, it's been a wonderful week here, and the sun's shining. It's supposed to be about 30 degrees, so bring it on. A few things I was going to talk about, and I've just got to get in my head. Oh yeah, first of all, can I sincerely thank everybody. Oh no, baby, so I've got the dog come round now. Everybody for, again, all the wonderful comments, and you know, people have been contacting me saying doing my videos have helped them and helped them to understand their loved one's dementia a bit more. And I did have somebody contact me, bless her, on about her husband who he started losing his temper a bit more and getting argumentative and disagreeing and this and the other. And I just said to her, I said, look, as long as it's nothing to do with your safety or his safety, I said, just try, just agreeing with him, whatever he says, you know, and he probably will forget all about it after. Well, she contacted me like after a couple of weeks and said that she's done that, what I advised her to do, and it's worked out brilliant for her. You know, that I don't argue with him, I don't disagree with him, you know, whatever he says, just agrees with him, and then he forgets about it after. So, you know, that's a plus for everybody in it, you know, because I have noticed, even with my beautiful wife Jan, she used to mention it before. If I said something and say, no, you're wrong, but she doesn't know more, and she does the same with me. I think she does it for a quieter life. It just agrees with whatever I say, bless her. But I'm doing it on my own because her and her sister and friend went out last night, and I don't think they got back till about 12 o'clock. God, I was in bed for about 9:30. I was absolutely shattered. But and I didn't want to go because I have found out, me personally, being around too many people, I can't cope with it. It's I don't know what the word is. It's not claustrophobic. I just get excuse me. I just get really uptight, and I start getting like panicky, and I could just run away. So the family understands, and the places they have taken us to, they've always made sure that what, you know, it's on a certain time where oh, excuse me, where there's not a lot of people about, and bless them, you know, and I prefer that. When I had a nice trip on the beach the other day, which was absolutely lovely. Quite a few on the beach, but they picked us a spot, obviously, because Jan on her sticks can't walk far, well, can hardly walk on the sand. So they found us a lovely spot where we was, where we was virtually just on our own, and there was nobody around us, and oh, that was absolutely great, just having a good chat, something to eat, and just soaking up the sun. So that was brilliant. There was a few things I wanted to talk about, but I'm trying my hardest to find out what it was I was going to say. I had it all in my head, and I should have written it down really, I've only done this on spec because people have asked me and messaged me, oh, John, when you're doing your 4th video, you know, I mean, I was going to do it the 17th of every month, but I kept meaning to do it while I was there and kept forgetting while we was going out, so yeah, I've got some time on my own, so everybody's in bed, so I thought I'd do it. Oh, yes, that's it. That's what I was going to talk about. On my last, excuse me, oh my, excuse me. On my last video, I mentioned about drinking water and with the balance and everything and that. Someone told me, girlfriend, oh, drink plenty of water and you'll find out that your balance will improve and get a lot better. And I think I did mention, I thought, oh, I'll give it a go, but I was very negative, you know what I mean? And I thought, oh, that ain't going to work. It's my dementia that's causing it. How drinking water is going to improve my balance? Well, I've got to say, thank the Lord, it has worked. You know, I think I did mention it, so forgive me if I did. I drink bottles about yay big, that big, 4 to 5 of them a day. And I'll tell you something now, I haven't had my crutch, my stick, nothing. And yet I still trip and stumble a little bit. But I haven't fell over or nothing, you know what I mean? So it definitely has worked for me. So for that, and I've been mentioning it to people at my dementia club, those who have got balance problems, and I said, look, you know, nobody likes drinking loads of water and this and the other, rather be beer or whiskey, I suppose. But if you can, try drinking more water and just see if it improves your balance. I'm living proof. It's worked for me, and it's certainly in your head because I poo-pooed it and I thought, nah, what a load of rubbish, that ain't going to work. But it has worked. So any of you out there, bless you, if you're caring for somebody or they've got dementia, if you can persuade them to drink a bit more water, you know what I mean, if they are having balance problems, and just see, you've got nothing to lose, have you? Just see if it works, because it has definitely worked for me. Okay, so I'm just trying to think. Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah, I've become a bit of a radio star because me and Jan went on a radio show. Oh, I don't know when it was. It was a few weeks ago, I think. Black Country Radio, and with a lovely bloke, if I've got his name right, Billy Spakeman or Spokeman. Wonderful bloke he is, and does a fantastic amount for charities and different things. And it was his dementia era, and we got invited on that, and Jan spoke about how it affects her as a carer and different things, and like from her perspective. And obviously I spoke about how the dementia actually personally affects me, and bless him, he was that impressed that he's asked us to, if I'd do it every month, you know, for as long as I can. So, and I says, yeah, of course I will, you know, anything to get the word out there and to help others, because again, you know, that's all I care about. And you know, just lately, I've been having a lot of people contact me through messengers and then asking if I'd add them onto Facebook, you know. But Jan always checks over and makes sure they what you call it, anybody who's trying to make out they're not that person, because obviously there's people out there who could try and take advantage of me, like with my dementia, you know, some nasty people out there. So she vets everything and looks at my phone and says, don't accept anybody or anything, and unless you run it by me first, and yeah, that's what I do. How am I doing since my last video? Well, I'm having my problems, and the brain fog seems to be getting like most days, to be quite honest, you know. But I can, it's strange, I can wake up in the morning, and especially being here, because I'm down in what they call the casita or something, and it's a purpose-built place. It's got a bedroom, telly, living room, kitchen, bathroom, you know what I mean? And I've got all that to myself. So, and Jan's up in the main house, you know, well, I think it was the first morning I woke up, God, thought me to death. I wondered where I was. I couldn't think where I was. and I just didn't recognise the place, and then I was shouting, and I finally went all through the house to everybody's bedroom, and then I finally found Jan's bedroom, and I could see, just looking at my eyes, that I was all right, and I was panicking, and you had to sit me down and explain where we was, and I was all right then. I just got totally confused, and you know, but I've had some nice days here where have been quite good, but I have had a few where I've got a little bit panicky, and you know, we went somewhere. I can't remember where we went. Oh, there was something going on, and I was with the brother-in-law and group of lads, and it was just sitting outside their place, and they're having a drink. Obviously, I wasn't drinking, and it just got to me, and I needed to get away. But bless the brother-in-law, I think could tell, and said, "Do you want me to drop you off?" And he dropped me off, and I went back into my own room, and he went back to him. All the blokes understand, because they know what I've got, and obviously how how it affects you. Oh, you know, thinking me, there's so much else I was going to talk about, and oh yes, that's it, that's it. Most of you know that I do go to a dementia club in West Brom, and it's a wonderful club, and there's some wonderful people there, and I made good friends with Brian and Lisa, and he's in the same boat as me, bless him, and we do have a good laugh, because we take the mickey out of each other, you know, say something, and just take the pee, really. So no good telling you, you'll forget about it come tomorrow, or you'll forget about it in 2 hours, and we do have a great laugh about that. But there's been a friend of mine contacted me, and sadly, I think he says it was one of her best friends. Anyway, her best friend's mother has been diagnosed with dementia, and obviously they know nothing about it, and it's like the world's fell apart, which I can understand, because you know, although I understand a lot about dementia because of my dad having it, and me going to the dementia club with him, and driving the minibus for a bit, I've seen how it affects people, and I've seen people from more or less the beginning of the journey, and then seen them how they've changed over the weeks, the months, or years, sadly. You know what I mean? And she asked me, sorry, I'm drifting, she asked me if I knew anywhere, or would I be able to get in my club, and I said, sadly, I said, you can't just come to our club, you know, you've got to be, you've got to be referred from, uh, referred from the specialist, that's it, you know. So, and then I was thinking, I was talking to Jan about it, and I says, you know, it's a pity you couldn't have a club where, I don't know, you have it like once a week, or probably once a fortnight to start with, and where you can open up a place, and if anybody was interested to come along, and carers to come along, and dementia people to come along, where you can just sit, have a chat. And then I did have a word with my president at our local spiritualist centre, Pauline, and I mentioned it to her, and she says it's a very good idea. Obviously, she's got to clear it with a committee first, which I know they will, because they know me that well. I've been there for 40 odd years, and there's not going to be a problem. But it's on a thought, and if people could get back to me and say whether, you know, they think it's a good idea. Obviously, you've got to be local to it, because it's the Dorfieldson Spiritualist Centre in Albury, off Canal Street. It's only a small building, you know what I mean. And they have a coffee morning there on a Friday, where everybody's welcome, and it's tea and toast and unlimited coffee. But it's £2 a person. So anyway, I was thinking, like, and I was talking it over with the president, and Thursdays is a spare day where they're not open, and you know, after a friend mentioned about it is anywhere, and I thought, I wonder if I could start my own little dementia club up. So that's what I'm going to try and do. But obviously, I'll have to get back to you with all the details. But I thought, well, you know, if we charge, because all the money would go back to the church, obviously, because I mean, you know, it's a church, and you have to rely on donations, and sometimes we don't get a lot of people, sometimes we do. But I was thinking, if we could say, I don't know, charge £2 a head. So if you, you and your carer, or come in at £2 a head, and we could do like they do on a Friday, unlimited toast, unlimited coffee, unlimited tea. And on a Friday, obviously there's people who come, they're not spiritualists, you know what I mean? Some are atheists, some of the older ones, but it doesn't matter, because we don't talk about religion, we don't talk about nothing like that. We just sit and do the coffee, do the tea, wait on them, do the toast, and everybody just has a conversation about everything and anything. You know what I mean? And it's been quite successful, so I thought, well, why can't I do one of them then with dementia? So carers have got somewhere to go and to meet with other carers, you know, and also people with dementia. Well, like at the club I go to, well, does your dementia affect you like this? Do you get moody? Do you get suddenly forgetful? Or do you think people think you're doing it on purpose and blah, 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 blah? And even my good friend Boyne said the same. Look how I've lost friends. I think I have mentioned it. Well, obviously, friends. I thought they was through me being the way I am, and people avoiding me. You know, which did hurt a lot, but I've got past that now. You know, and you know, he's had exactly the same. He said people who he went fishing with, who supposed to be really pally, when they found out he had dementia, bless him, he's got mixed dementia. They drifted away. They want to know him. You know what I mean? That's not right, is it? For God's sake, come on. We're still the same person you knew before, just like, like my wife says. We're just slightly broken in the head a little bit, you know. The brain cells have started to disappear, but we still try to be the same person, you know. We still got feelings and that, you know. So, yeah, if you know anybody with dementia, please don't disown them, you know. And you ain't got to be frightened of what to say. Why have you got to be frightened what to say? If somebody come up to me and says, oh, hello, John, all right, I'd tell them straight if I didn't know who they was or I didn't recognise them. You know, I've had that happen to me a few times. And I've looked at John and he says, I've looked at a blank line and he has explained who the person is, where I know him from, and then I'm trying to get the old brain cells working, and then it does come back to you, you know. Well, it has to me. I mean, you know, if it don't, it don't. But yeah, just try and treat that person with a dementia with respect and care, you know, because as I say, it's frustrating enough to have this horrible thing without people. Well, I have said it before, treating you like a leper. You know what I mean? So come on, people. If you know me or Brian's friends or anybody with dementia, don't ignore them and don't treat them like they've got a terrible disease. Well, it is a terrible disease, but it ain't anything you're going to catch. You know, and just if you stop and talk to them in the street or in the supermarket, just try and talk about old times where you know them from, and it may jog the memory like it does with me. Oh, yeah, I know where you're from now. Oh, sorry, you know what I mean? Because nobody's going to do it on purpose, are they? You know, I certainly won't turn around and say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know you, I don't know who you are, when I do. Mind you, but my one brother, bless him, says, it'll come in handy though, John. I said, what are you on about coming handy? He says, well, if there's somebody you don't like, you could just say, I'm sorry, I don't know you. I suppose in that way it would be, but I wouldn't do that, I couldn't do that. It wouldn't be right, would it? So, yeah, so sorry, I'm drifting again, yeah. Yeah, so I'm on about starting this club up, and obviously I've got to get it all finalised and that, but I thought it might be a good idea. Anybody local to Albury, obviously people ain't going to travel from miles and miles and miles to it, and maybe we could, like, it would have to be a Thursday, but maybe we could have it, like, I don't know, for 2 hours or something, say from 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock, you know, whatever, whatever suits anybody, because then nobody's got to be referred to it. You could just pop along. But obviously, you know, it's a massive building, so suppose it could hold about 30 people, I suppose. So, yeah, no, and the only thing we couldn't do is you couldn't drop off your loved one who's got dementia and expect everybody else to look after them, because none of us are professional carers. So you know what I mean. At the club I go to, I call them dementia nurses, but they are, I forgot, the OTs or something like that. I think they call it something like that. Obviously they're trained, and they've got the speciality. And there's one bloke who drops his lovely wife off, you know, bless her, and obviously it gives him a break for 2 hours, you know, because dementia's got the hold of her quite strongly, actually, and obviously it gives him a break, but he's allowed to drop her off because they work for the council or whatever, and they've got all the paperwork to say that they can care for somebody with dementia. But obviously at our church, none of us have got that, so you'd have to come along with your loved one who's got dementia anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's not a drop-off place. Wouldn't be allowed to do that. But have a think about it, and if anybody's interested, you know, or you know somebody who it might be advantage, because you oh, excuse me, because talking about it and sitting with a lot of people, and you know, if people wish to talk about the dementia, it affects them. It makes you feel better when you talk like you did with me and Brian. Oh, well, how does it affect you? Well, like this. Oh, well, I'll get like that. I thought it was just me, because sometimes, you know, when I first got talking, although I know a lot about it, in a way, you feel as if you're the only person in the world who's got it, and then you start meeting other people. And what I like about it is some people will talk about it, they clam up and just sit there and say nothing, but me and my mate Boy, we have a cracking laugh, and you know, talking about how it affects him, how it affects me. You know, do you end up thinking like this? Do you start talking, and then all of a sudden you get blank and all that? Obviously, I'm not aware that I do it, but Jan says, yeah, he does, and Lisa was saying, yeah, Brian does the same. So you compare, you know, how you are, and the different things that the dementia can cause you to be. Well, obviously, I don't know about it. I don't know that I'm suddenly going blank and staring at the wall. I'm not aware of it. You know what I mean? It's like you drift off with the fairies for a few moments, but it is nice to talk about things, you know, how it actually affects you, because we're the ones who are going through it. And it's nice for the carers to talk as well, you know, or have you tried doing this? Well, this is how I sort it out with John, or and swapping ideas, and, you know, it's all about trying to have a good life for as long as you can, and a peaceful life, you know, because I think I've mentioned it before, that the one thing I don't want to do is get that way where you get quite aggressive, because sometimes I do feel my temper going, well, not with Jan, like, I suppose I have been a bit short with her when I've got confused or muddled up, but she just don't say nothing, bless her. It says when I'm having a good day, it's easier for to just agree with me and keep quiet, but sometimes people can just rev you up, like, you know what I mean, where you feel like you smash the face in, and that ain't me. So hopefully, God willing, I won't get like that, because that's one thing I would hate, to get aggressive with other people. But yeah, have a think about what I've said about the church, and a dementia club, starting a dementia club up. And if anybody wishes to, who's got me on Facebook, or wishes to, what is it, WhatsApp or Messenger? Yeah, WhatsApp or Messenger. John Blundell, for those who don't know me. And I'd be willing, like, you know what I mean, to point you in the right direction. And once the committee, which again, as I said, I know, because they all know me, and we all love each other dearly, like one big family. And once they agree, then I can get the ball rolling, and see who wishes to come. So yeah, so I think that's it, because there was something else I was going to talk about, and it's gone. Oh, it's bloody a pain in the arse. I hate this. It's gone straight out of my head, you know. But maybe it's because the sun's getting warmer, and I'll have to put a hat on, because it's pickling my brain cells. And I haven't got that many left as chances, so I've got to protect what I've got. But yeah, but bless you all who watch these videos. You know, I hate doing it for we had a couple of 1,000 views, and so many thousand likes and that, and blah de blah de blah. I'm not interested in that. I'm only bothered about it getting out there so people can understand more, because as I say, I've been contacted by some people, sadly, where there's nothing like that round them, whether the councils can't afford it or whatever, I don't know, but there's nothing, you know what I mean. And oh, that's what I was going to mention. I haven't I haven't got the dates because I've totally forget. But my mate Brian, him and his Mrs. Lisa are doing something for our club to raise money, and it goes directly to our dementia club. Like, so maybe we could raise enough to go away for the day and different things. And it's a charity fishing thing, but I'll have to come back to you with all the details on that, because it's totally all got out of my head. That's where I should have had Jan with me. But I'll inform everybody about that. Because if I can, I've been asked, obviously asked Billy if we can just briefly plug it on his radio show when we're on. I know I think it's in August somewhere anyway. So yeah, but I'll get back to you all on that. So yeah, have a think about what I've said, and you know, Angela, I know we spoke on the phone. If your friend's still interested, I think you said with her mum, bless her. Obviously, that we'd welcome them with open arms. You know what I mean? So if people is interested in coming to the church, and I'll start my own dementia club, because I can, because nobody can stop me. Birdsall says you can't come and leave your loved one, because we're not professionals that way. But just to come have a chat, a cup of tea, cup of coffee, toast, or if you wanted to bring your own stuff, you know, that's still fine. You know what I mean? And we can just see how it goes. So yeah, well, I've rambled on for 26 minutes, so I think that's enough. I think we're going out later on to a Greek restaurant for something nice to eat, and I assure what we're doing after probably come back, and it'll be a pool day, because they've got quite a decent swimming pool. It's Olympic size, but it's quite decent. And oh yeah, go on, while I'm at it, I'll just show you. I hope you can see. I ain't very good with things like this. So that's the swimming pool, and that's called a casita, or I think that's right, and that's where I'm living for the next, well, I've been living there since I've been here, and that's the main house. So look, them all them all still in bed. So yeah, God bless you all, people, and hopefully you found it interesting what I've talked about. But I think next time I'll do it later on and make sure I've got Jan with me, so I can remind me, because I know there was other things I wanted to talk about, and obviously I flipping forgot. So, oh, let's just quickly show you this if you're interested. This is why it's Albertera, because it's in the mountains. It's wonderfully quiet and very peaceful here. The only thing you can hear is the birds and the wildlife, and the cuckoo every so often. So yeah, people, get back to me if you're interested in, like what I said, if we start our own little dementia club up at Albury, Dorfieldson Spiritualist Centre, and obviously, you know, let me know so I can get some numbers, and then I can come back to everybody and actually finalise it and all that. Alright, so till then, as I say, I'll keep doing my videos, I'll keep going on the radio show for as for as long as I can, and as long as I can make sense of what I'm saying. But you know, keep smiling, and God bless you all, and see you soon. Okay, God bless you all. Bye for now.